Phew. Almost
Why
posted
didn't
that
you
in the wrong
save
chat.
my... Where's...
Uh-oh, you don't save?
No, I said, why didn't you save my thing? My, you didn't save my,
Uh-oh.
Where's just...
Oh god, I saw in a plug chat someone post a phone recording of a battle. We're back at that point in the gen.
Hey, that means people are uploading. Let's go.
Yup. I don't know how to feel about that if I'm gonna be honest. Because like people are uploading again. Yeah, that's dope. But that means we're also getting to the point where those are gonna probably be the people that like we're gonna have to seek out because of how dead the Wi-Fi scene is. So, oh, you know what? Shit, I put that in the wrong chat. I had reposted in the wrong neighborhood. Almost put it in staff general too.
I'm plugging away, so if you're joining, hello.
Yep.
I will start.
Same to you guys.
3 seconds. SBT.
Pew.
Web.
Which Hong. There we go. Okay, now I can open up browser. Put this over here so I can watch my favorite YouTuber, OG Albina, on youtube.com/OG Albina. Yo, welcome.
That is the
Hi.
exact.
So that is the exact. Now I have to deafen you as well on YouTube. There we go. Okay. So I'm ready. Thank you, friend. I appreciate it. Supposed to have a bit more red on my lips, but it literally came off of my cup, so it was very annoying.
Hello.
Super annoying. I drank it all in like 2 minutes. All the red.
Almost
Oh
there,
wow!
like
OG Albina went live with a Sword and Shield randomizer versus. That's
go.
insane. I just realized that. I saw it.
No,
I saw the phone notification.
Oh shit.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Sorry, I was busy streaming now.
Corey.
Leave you around. Hold on. Ah, shit. Sorry.
Uh-oh. What did you do?
Was busy.
What did you do?
Streaming now.
It's so hot.
Will. Oh god, Cavlocks is on. Now I have to restart. Sorry. Was busy streaming now. Will you
thank you,
be
Brian. I appreciate it.
around in a few hours?
Thank you for this gift,
I was gonna play
Brian.
this
How are you
before I
today?
streamed. Forgot.
Going in
LC
circles
Evo.
until you're ready. Oh, your LC Evo game. Ooh. That's the division you help run, isn't it? Oops.
Yeah. Forgot to play
Oopsies.
it.
Not a good luck.
Not a good look.
Not a
It's
good look.
server I own. Shit. It's a
Yeah, it's a
division
server.
I run.
Literally, it's a server going. Ooh.
Fucking brutal.
Man, how are you going to explain that to your LC audience?
I'm sorry. I'm a fraud. Okay.
Alright,
I'm good to go. I'm
You're
like
good to go?
pretty sure I need to keep grinding. Last time we did this,
Yeah.
I was trying to
You
get the
had, like-
team to level 42.
I think there's like one more mon to grind, maybe two.
Yeah, I think it's like 2 of them, but there's a bunch of chances.
You had, yeah, obviously you had a bunch of chances. I have.
Oh, and the
encounters
sun's
here.
up, and one of them I need to train his stuff on.
Ooh,
Five.
well that'll be free. I was say I have an encounters, and I figured, by the way, for anyone wondering, no, we did not hit our 300
excellent.
sub goal, but we got new emotes and sub badges, so I figured I would do this anyway, because also for encounters, I can actually close my eyes, and people don't claim that I'm not. No one was, but in case if anyone was wondering, I'm not running into these these lotties on purpose, or there was like the
Just some
Zerny-
juiced
this is
encounters.
Yep, just some juiced encounters. All right, I'm running the grass.
Those of you in chat, let me know how audio is for the game.
What is it?
I don't remember if I need to tweak it yet.
Are you fucking kidding? I found a Toxel.
Very
so bad.
powerful. That's what happens when she actually closes her eyes. She was
Yeah,
cheating
clearly I
before.
was a fraud. I was clearly.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Truly a shame.
Ooh, do starters have good EXP yield? I feel like.
Yeah, all the starters, any starters, fossils, and legends all have automatically good EXP, even regardless of their HP. It's just better than normal Pokemon of those EXP rates. Yeah. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I want to catch this Toxel, but I'm gonna. I think just to avoid not having to catch it again.
Have them in the
Especially if
box
I come back
chilling.
to your friend encounter.
I mean, like,
don't want it.
evolving them into a Toxtricity isn't, you know.
Oh, you know what?
forcing them.
It's only like level 28, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not super late in the game where you get Tox.
Okay, well, it's 26 right now. So it's not the worst.
Hey, Sarah
actually.
Bullthing
That's
watched
pretty
your
good.
content in the last week and two, and I've enjoyed your content. Keep it up. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, Kaz. Thank you.
Oh, for a
Big,
second I
big
thought that was like
appreciate.
Kaz,
Like Cat, big Cat, yeah, my
Yeah,
boy.
but I forgot that had a.
He said, "Hey, keep up the good work, champ." That'd have been funny.
That'd have been super funny if that was like API Kaz. No, if I go for payback again, I might kill it. Oh, it growled? Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay, well, we caught it anyway, so I'll take that. Also, I just realized I'm wearing like the same top that I am in game. That's pretty dope. Did not plan that, I promise.
Get to it, Kale. Fuck you, Chancey.
I'm gonna have to put this on the team. Well, actually, no, never mind, because I have a Crobat. I don't need this on the team. Alright, if anyone in the chat
Let's
wants
roll.
to do nickname, more than welcome to. If not, I will give a minute, and if not, then if not. Let's see. I'm gonna get some water.
Okay, I've decided against it. I'm done grinding. Is that
Oh
a
gosh,
Silvally
right,
fair?
hey.
Wait, you can find Silvally of specific typings in the wild?
Yeah, no, it's all forms. It's same as like Kieran forms. Though,
That's so cool.
don't
So
put
then
them in
they
your
would be-
PC. Because if you put them in your PC, I'm pretty sure they revert back to normal, as an FYI. I know at least that's how Megas worked, if you did that. Like,
That's
if you
so
put them in your PC. So,
no, it's not. It's not my encounter or anything, but that's so cool.
Hey, hi, Meta, how are you? Also, friend, let me know when you have the nickname. I kinda need to... This is a versus, after all. Well, that would get, I don't know if you know this, friend, but yeah, I was gonna say that wouldn't work. I can't name a bitch baby. So close, so close. Let's see. Bish baby, okay. There we
Alright,
go.
so we're just about
That'll
ready
get around.
to move on to the
Man.
balloon town, the fairy gym, Bologna, the baloney town.
Yep. Close enough.
We're zooming through the game. I felt like that was a later gym than like the 5th gym or whatever. I thought that was heck later.
Crustle and Whalmer? Damn. That could have been fire, especially if I found a shiny Crustle. Ooh, that could have been very fire. Because I have like
Oh,
a
my
diamond
Sprite?
texture on my Crustle. No, you know what? Actually, never mind. I did replace it with yours. That's right. That is still a fire Sprite.
That would have
to
been
be fair, but
funny as
I
hell,
could've-
yeah.
I think I showed. Oh, never mind. You know what? That was on the Dwebble. I showed you the diamond like Dwebble. I think that I glitched in. That looked super fucking bad. But yeah.
Mhm.
Oh shit! This is a new encounter. I should be closing my eyes. Okay. I'm just spinning around to lose my senses, and then I'm gonna run through, and we're gonna see what I get. Oh shit! A Torracat. That's actually awesome.
The Kentucky Torracats. Mascot of my
Yeah.
favorite Poketuber.
Yes, my favorite
mid-Torracat
Poketuber,
master.
mid-Torracat master. We're gonna cross poison this. It'll definitely, if it's only one level below. Oh, this will be a nice catch. This will actually be super good for the team. And oh my god, that nearly killed. Well, it didn't like nearly kill, but it did over half. I didn't think it would do that much. I just realized this is
We are in the
Blaze.
Glimwood Tangle, which means our next encounter right here. We're gonna just run and sprint and.
Encounter time. I hope you don't catch your encounter. I'm gonna be honest, I really hope you don't.
I don't even know where I'm going. Am I even close to a Pokemon? I'm gonna open my eyes. Okay, now I'm in grass, so hopefully.
Torracat gets
Pokemon.
caught.
What? There's not
Do
even
anything
any
better than
Pokemon in
this?
this grass.
I throw a Dusk Ball. I'm gonna throw a Dusk Ball. Is there no... Oh yeah, you know what? They spawn up on the side. Either that or like really far in.
Oh, okay, here's one. I can't see it. So
Oh shit, Dusk Ball worked. We did it!
Fuck
Torracat
off,
time.
Jigglypuff.
I'm throwing this on the team. This is awesome.
Um,
Alright, Meta, what do you want to name it?
Let's go ahead and X scissor it. We'll just chip it down. 6 views in the stream. I appreciate you guys for coming out. If you haven't liked the stream yet, please go ahead and do so.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Make sure to... I always remember to do it only when no one tells me to. But I did
That's
remember
usually
to do
how it
though.
goes. No overwhelm
That's-
counters.
yeah, that is how it
My
goes.
encyclopedia is in the chat. Hi, Emil. How's it going?
Yeah, they're all on the side. There's like one patch of grass I think you can find grass in Glimwood, but I don't
Except
even
the
remember.
impidimps. Oh, okay. That's cool though.
Yeah.
A bit of an OG feel.
I see the impidimp cat fern. Okay, I like that.
Alright, well, there's Jiggles, we
on
got
the
it.
side.
It'll never be used, but it's an encounter.
Hey, I mean, to be fair, there's a lot. Like, if you find a Moonstone, could be fire depending on like how bad your team is.
We're gonna
I'm
name
not
it
gonna say,
Wiggles
like, it's a
just in
great one.
case it does in fact be used, get used and turn into a Wigglytuff.
There you go. Oh shit! I just remembered. I have a cherish ball on my Corviknight. I forgot to grab that last time. Held
Fight this
item.
chef
Put in
guy.
your
Because we kind of stopped our grinding early, so we might as well just be sure grinding it.
Yo, there was a Sylveon here. I could have had a
4
Sylveon.
viewers,
or
4
Scizor.
likes. Appreciate you guys. Alright, Zapdos.
Good.
Oh shit. That's
Alright,
not
I'm gonna
good.
run a bit more.
My team gets
you know what?
smashed by
I can't.
Zapdos.
Oh, can I not go in the water yet? Oh, god damn it. No, I wanted the heat trick. Holy shit! Okay. I'm gonna run up here, and then I'm gonna run back down for this encounter, and I'm gonna go back and see what I get. Because there was Zacian there. There was a lot of power in there. So I'm gonna run back once I pass through the bridge. I'll pass through the bridge first. Oh shit, thank you, Henry, for the sub. I appreciate it. Welcome. Hope you like the new sub badges. Alright.
There's Big
3,
Zapdos.
2,
I'll be 18 tomorrow. Holy shit, Emil, happy 18th birthday. I also, I don't mean this in like a shitty way, but like I didn't know you were that young. Holy shit. Genesect, that's a cool ass encounter. That's a very cool encounter. That's gonna be hard to catch though.
That is gonna be hard to catch, but you know what? If I catch that, that's carrying me. That's how I'm catching up to you, Owen.
Yeah, just fucking Genesecting through the game. That's super cool.
Destroying everything. Because that'll learn like every TM too, pretty much. Well, not like every TM, but it learns a lot of TMs.
All the good ones, yeah.
Yeah, all the
Wait,
good ones.
yeah, shit. Happy birthday, Emil. I didn't know that.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I need to
That's
remember so I can add everybody and tell them to
Yeah.
tell my encyclopedia happy birthday.
Yeah, you also have to add everyone in APLC.
Oh, fat. I always think the main server. No, you'll even get a big
the main server?
announcement
That worked
in
too.
the main server. We're at
Oh my
700
God, that
people
almost-
because I'm
Holy
allowed
shit.
to.
Okay, this mon is actually kind of terrifying. It almost killed my Crobat, which was like
Did it?
really carrying me. It almost did.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, you have a Corviknight. Corviknight could probably take it on. I doubt it has flamethrower.
Oh, it definitely can. It definitely can. I was worried. But yeah, I appreciate the sub, Henry. It helped. Your sub luck always seems to be like infallible. Impeccable. That's the word. Thank you, Owen.
Is that Fellstinger? That
Yeah,
could actually
Fellstinger.
become. That could be pretty good in game.
If that Fellstinger, because
That
got
would
the
be
attack
awesome.
boost off of
Thanks.
Metal
No
Claw
worries,
too.
buddy.
It got the attack boost off of Metal Claw, so like that +1 plus I think download also got an attack boost. That could have actually probably killed my Crobat.
Oh yeah.
Like it was only base 30, but it is still stab, even though it is like a 4 times resist, only 19 HP left. I'm not exactly like EV to take it. That's still
Fearful
plus
luck.
quick. No. Piece of shit. Okay, it's flame charging me. This is actually, oh my god, that almost killed my Corviknight.
You.
I'm gonna be honest. I might just kill it.
That
I'm gonna
did
try like one more thing. If
so
Duraludon
unbelievably much.
if Duraludon gets taking a lot of damage from it, or like gets really low, I'm gonna kill it. I'll be honest. I don't know if I can fuck around this one. This could be a problem.
That did ridiculous.
That still did 20. That Metal Claw still did 20. What the fuck? I'm gonna break him so I can drop its attack. Galaxy range traps.
Yeah, that won't kill it.
Yeah, that definitely won't kill it. It's still like a resist.
Sucker punch. Thanks.
I can't do another though. I could do a Metal Claw actually, because Metal Claw's like 10 base less. So I'm gonna do a Metal Claw. I'm gonna do a Metal Claw.
Big crit on deck. Shouts out to Giratina for putting that Drizzly out of his misery. They kept freaking fearful looking.
Beautiful. Okay. Now I can start throwing balls again.
Switch Pokemon, a Surfetch comes out just because I am thinking things all lowered.
No! Roll! Dumb mon. Oh, okay, this is
what are
sweet.
some of the
Okay,
best
okay.
low tier mons in draft? Let me pull up a. Okay, I'm
What's the
super
most
bad
one?
at like mentioning like, oh, I like this Pokemon this year, unless I'm looking at a doc. So I'm pulling up NCP's stock on the side because they did tiers.
You know what's like one of my favorite low tier mons? Actually, I have two that are like really good, and they're both like pretty similar. Mudsdale and Palisand, both phenomenal low tier grounds. If you
I
don't have
also
ground in
like.
high tier,
Oh,
I'm not
I
moving
love
on.
them, but my favorite low tier grounds are Steelix and Piloswine. I fucking love Steelix.
Yeah,
Steelix, I always get
Steelix-
so much utility out of.
Steelix because like, people like rate Steelix really high and all that. Is like I was gonna mention something I know like everyone rated high, but like Palisand and Mudsdale though both are very fire. They don't get
I
enough
do
love
love
in my
Big
opinion.
Muds. Big Muds is a beast.
Love those.
Dude, this
There are a lot
Surfetch
of cool
is
low-tier
so annoying.
grounds.
Other good low tier ones. I love big. I mean, I can mention like 90% of my BBR team because it's all low tier.
Yeah.
So
Any-
fucking.
any
I love
job.
Licky. Licky.
Anything
I
like
love
fighting-
Lantern too. Lantern, very good with proper
Anything
support.
in like tier 4 or 5 that's like a fighting, psychic, normal, or ground is usually at least a not bad option. in my opinion. Those are like really good like low tier types. To be fair, some teams you need a really high ground, and some teams you need a really high psychic. But usually like a fighting type or a normal type, you can get a pretty good low tier option on almost any team without it being like mandatory to go high. And they're both really good types. I cannot recommend low tier fighting enough, actually, if I'm being honest.
Oh, you know, another like not low tier. They're not low tier, but they're down there, opposed to like, you know, your really high tier grounds like your Zygardes and Guard Shops and kinds of things like that. One of my favorite grounds to use, especially in Gen 8, is Rhyperior. I love Rhyperior. It's so fucking strong and it's so unbelievably fat. It's really, really good if you have a good team around it, I think. Especially when you can't just throw hidden power at it anymore.
Yeah, I personally liked Rhyperior a lot in Gen 6 as well. Just because I felt like a lot of the Gen schemata didn't really like the common Mon to the top. It actually was like a good soft check too. I will say though that it is a lot better this gen, obviously.
Ooh.
But it was still a fine option for whatchamacallit, for Rhyperior. Love Rhyperior. I had to bench Corviknight because I have 2 steals already.
Unfortunate. I mean,
you
caught the Genesect?
Yeah, I caught the Genesect. I was like a few inches from a Kyogre. And also, I know there's Zacian in this area too. This area was stacked. I'm gonna have to come back here next time I get an encounter.
Yeah.
4th gym, anyone?
Any
Reshiram, they're Reshiram, holy shit.
Another good low tier I love is I love Rotom Fan.
Yes, Rotom Fan is awesome.
I love Rotom Fan.
This gen Rotom Fan is awesome.
Super, yeah, with boots. Super Cells on because people are like, aha, useless ability. But Fire Mon.
Its typing is so good. And it's a good like a budget. It's basically budget Zapdos, in my opinion. Obviously, like it doesn't get recovery, like reliable recovery, but it is still like a budget Zapdos. And oh my god, my wild area is stacked. I have found just in these last 2 areas alone, Reshiram, Raikou, Zacian, Genesect, Kyogre. Just for legends in these last 2 areas. Jesus. And there have been so many other good ones too. Like non-legends, I found what you can call it. I found Sylveon and Seismitoad. It's like there are some broken Mons in this wild area. Oh my god, I'm looking forward to it. Fran, I make 0 promises. You should know my Nuzlocke luck is atrocious. You can't make me promise to keep them on alive. That's just not how it works.
That's how Latios went.
Yeah, that's how Latios went.
She was named after you, bro. She was named after you.
Yeah, like, I can't make promises on any Mons. Pokemon just don't live in my Nuzlocks. They have better chances of living in Orange. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I got a Genesect. My team is busted. Oh, you know what? I got a T on my team. I probably have a lot of good TMs.
Yeah, I haven't checked that at all.
I'm gonna go first to see if I have tutor moves
right now, so I haven't been stressing about it.
Yeah, exactly. See that? We've already had to restart on the Rachi one. So like that should tell my Nuzlocke luck right there. That Rachi run alone should have told my Nuzlocke luck.
Getting soloed by big Golduck.
Yup, and not only that, but I got 1v1 of the starter with a dark type when my only move was a psychic type move. Should be pretty telling on my Nuzlocke luck.
That was painful.
Alright.
Oh, I love the design of this town. The one where the fairy gym is.
Oh yeah, no, that's one of my favorite towns.
Pretty.
Super pretty. I 100% agree. I'm gonna see if Torracat.
What do you prefer, a draft point tier list or like a rank tier list? I prefer points. I feel like it promotes more. Like it gives you more options when you want to draft it.
See,
if I want to draft top heavy, I can draft top heavy. If I want to draft a more balanced team and secure my lower tiers a little bit more and draft 12 Pokemon opposed to 10, 9, whatever the minimum is. I like giving teams that option because I feel like it makes teams more interesting.
Personally, I like tiers more, but only like split tiering, like the tier 1 AB, tier 2 AB, etc. If it's like just flat out 1 through 5, or if it is flat out points, I would say points. But if split tiers were included, I would say tiers, purely for that reason, because I think that it allows at least some sort of structure to drafts, while also making sure that like you have more options and more freedom. So I think it's like the nice happy medium, and personally I think it's also like it's an easy format to teach, and I think it is
okay. I will say in Wi-Fi leagues I prefer tiers because I hear less yelling when I'm adminning in them. I don't get it.
Yeah,
that is so much nicer.
Yeah, but it's a lot. I think I also agree with that. I think in Showdown, just because of like it's really just the people in the format. I think it's a lot easier to do like a national Dex league with points at this point, just how many months there are, and also just it's a lot easier to not have really dumb points tierings because of just how split up mons are. Whereas in tiers, like if you do tiers, the very least you're not going to deal with like 4 or 5 points scaled under or over Pokemon, usually. Because at least with tiers, it's only like usually 1, maybe 2 tiers off at most.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ooh,
Also,
there's an
what was
Inkay
it?
here, Emil. I'll have to go find him.
Ooh, Inkay.
I'll find him for you. Hold on.
Tier 2 T-Tar. Ooh, that actually. I mean, I'll be honest. This gen that might not be the worst. Like, it would
That's
probably be like a
brutal
really
though.
high
That's so
tier.
disrespectful. I draft that shit
Oh, it
so
is.
quick.
I'm telling you right now, I'd consider it around 1 if I'm being completely honest. And I
Like
know
if I'm
that's a
super
very
low, yeah.
bad.
Okay, there's the Chinchou.
Yeah.
Just
If I had like a bottom 4 pick, I'd do it around 1. Fuck that. Like
yeah,
that mod is
T-Tar has so
awesome.
much utility outside of being, you know, like, oh, where's my Excadrill kind of thing.
Yeah,
I
such a
love
good mod.
Tar.
Such a
I
good
think it's
typing. The Spidef is amazing on it too.
yeah, it's just I love fat, strong mods with good utility. I've only drafted T-Tar one time. It was in Academy Season 2, and I had to drop it because my team was super bad, and I needed to, like, rework the team completely. So I dropped T-Tar after, like, week 5, but it wasn't because it was a bad Pokemon. Actually, like, it was, like, one of the only Pokemon on the team I really liked to use. Oh, there the Inkay. There's 2 of them. But yeah, I remember I had Tar Mega Chomp, and it was super fucking fun. I also love Mega Chomp, too.
Oh yeah, Mega Chomp is awesome.
I really want to try it in like a Gen 8 Showdown League scale shot. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Power.
no,
That thing is so
that's on my
fat and
bucket
so
list.
strong.
I want to do I'm gonna do a couple more Showdown leagues. One of which purely just to get to try that. If I'm being honest.
Oh yeah.
Just because it seems like a fun option. I'm not huge in Showdown leagues at this point, but I will say I want to do at least one more just to try that.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just not good.
I remember I played I forget whose league it was, but I played I had Sand and it was Crash and I was playing TC. And week 1, it was I ended up going like 7-3 in the league, but week 1 I got fucking demolished. And it was because I played a Mega Chomp and I had no switch-ins, and my only like viable way of winning the game was Excadrill. I had Urshifu Sand. Urshifu Sand Yard. It was a really fun team. I made semis
Sand
with
is
it.
so fun as a whole. Like even especially with Yard, I love Yard Sand. I think it's always just such a fun core. But especially with Urshifu, ooh, that sounds filthy.
Oh yeah, sick nasty. Urshifu is so good. It's Urshifu Drill just together, just so fucking scary to deal with. And but I obviously had Sand. I had Gigalith, and I played a Mega Chomp, and I gave it the Sand, and I didn't know what to do. I just had I had to stall out my own Sand because I had nothing that could kill it in one hit.
That's actually
Advice:
pretty fun.
remember the name of the first trainer. Oh yeah, you're right. You can kind of
yeah,
like
that's
zoom
right,
past
that's right.
battles if you get all these answers right?
Yep, you can. However, there are some trick questions. There are some trick questions. I will safely say that. So, before that gym, I'm looking up all the answers. Level ball. Oh gosh.
I don't need to look it up. All right,
Urshifu-
come on,
Urshifu
Fairy.
Asian? Yeah, that is pretty gnarly. I agree. Especially if
Urshifu
that's like a
Asian.
Magic League and that has like a Mega DNC on it. I think it's actually, if I remember correctly, Zero, I think that's actually the league you had it. I'm pretty sure you had a Mega DNC. I could be wrong. I think I'm remembering correctly though. Someone else might have had it in Crusading.
Mega Chomp with in Sand with web support. Yes,
Yeah, that
I
sounds
would
awesome.
love it. Yeah, it's just a brainless button Pokemon. Like
I
you don't have
even-
to think. You just
Yeah.
click your stabs plus Stone Edge, just like regular Chomp. But like,
Yeah.
why did I just Iron Head?
To be fair, web support is not bad, but between Scale Shot and just like the boots being around, I don't think you really need it anymore with Mega Chomp. It's still really good. I just think that like you kind of just can go Sand at that point and just make it like a cool breaker. Just my personal opinion. It is still really cool, of course. Sand is still Mega Chomp with webs is still always going to be like a good option. I just think it's not as good.
Wait, they raised my attack after they freaking confused me. Okay, thank God. I was like, wait, they're like trying to fuck me over. After I exited the Morpeko turn one. I mean, Iron Headed it.
Forgetting where I have to go.
Ludicolo. Would I like to switch Pokemon? I kind of would, just because I'm confused, and if I get hit and hit myself, I might lose.
Oh yeah, you know the gym. Be careful with the gym. It's super bullshit. Oh fuck, where am I supposed to go?
Mega Pincers is one I really want to try, but then they fucked it over. That was okay.
It's still a fun mod.
I
Safe to
never
say
tried
it's
Mega
still a-
Scissor in Gen 7 when I was playing. Then I played in a Gen 6 league recently. But it was before I could Gen on my 3DS. And I drafted Mega Pinsir. I drafted an entire team around Mega Pinsir. And then I was like, wait, there's no fucking way I'm doing the happiness every week. So I dropped it. Week 1, after it was my round 1 pick. I dropped it. I ended up using like I had like Mega Medicham Weavile instead. It was still
it's still definitely like a cool one. Okay, Mega Medicham Weavile is super dumb to compare, but like I still think
but it was Gen
honestly,
6 Mega Pinsir. That sounds like
Gen 6 Mega Pinsir was so dumb. Oh my god, that's a whole nother beast.
So then obviously there isn't too many Gen 7 leagues out there. And if there were, it was IBA, which you had to Gen 4, and I couldn't Gen for IBA until like week 3. You know, playing in a Gen 7 league is actually fun. I really want to do that on Wi-Fi again, just because of the megas and stuff like that. But what do you call it? And then in Gen 8, I play in Showdown leagues, but Mega Pinsir's ass now, so I don't want to draft it. So I just never got to try good Mega Pinsir.
Just try it for content, to be honest. I'll do it. I have Gen 6 drafts, actually. I have all Gen 6 drafts that I can pull up. I know we talked about doing it with Gen 7. I can do it with Gen 6 just as easily. I have a really fun, I actually have a really fun...
Well, I can't record Citra replays for Gen 6. But I would, if there's Gen 7 drafts with... Oh, I almost just stayed into the Turtonator with my S-Cap.
Ooh. Oh, right. I forgot. You needed to do Citra.
Well, like, I don't need to battle Citra. I don't mind post-coming.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of like post-coming because it feels really nostalgic.
I always have my cap card, like literally right here. It's actually plugged in right now. I can just post-record the game if we did decide to do that route. So if you did actually like really want to do that, let me know. Because as I said, I know we talked about with like Gen 7 matchups. I have Gen 6 ones I could use as well. Well, I have one Gen 6 team, I should say. The rest were garbage. I didn't know how to draft until the last draft I did in Gen 6.
My speed rose versus the Turtonator. Thank you, Fairy Jim.
Man, that is very helpful. Nice speed.
How crucial is it picking up a sticky web user on your draft team? It's not essential. I mean, there's some teams where like it's really beneficial. And it depends on the style of team you are, but I don't think there's any one team that like needs sticky webs. Like you need to have it, that kind of thing.
I can think of a few mons who kind of need it.
Postcom's bad. Yuck. Get out of here, Mr. Hypebeast of the Century. I like postcoms because it can be really analytical and pause the video and talk about it and stuff like that. And like I said, it's really nostalgic too. Because back in the day when, you know, 3DS capture cards were really hard to get. And not very practical, especially at the end of a generation. I had to postcom. Big Lantern Joe cut up clutch. I postcom for like a full year.
Yeah,
I was a man bringing Giratina to the Fairy Gym. 100%.
If it's a Showdown League, I think postcom's honestly...
Hola, welcome Shadow, how you doing? You finally made it out to a stream before it was about to end.
Zero, we're not actually doing a Gen 6 League. What we were talking about was more so, Owen and I were talking about, because he needed to upload this week, we were considering doing just like an old Gen 7 matchup to show all the Gen 7 audiences still out there. So we're gonna make an old Gen 7 matchup and just build our own versions of the team for it. Because Owen and I have clearly gotten... Well, Owen's gotten a lot better. I've gotten at least like maybe 2% better since Gen 7. So yeah, that was sort of the thought process there. That's why we mentioned it. And I mentioned Gen 6 because just because we were talking about Gen 6 Mega
Don't choose Curry in the next battle. Dude, Amel is carrying this playthrough.
Man,
I can never rely on Fran or T-Row to always stay on my side. They like to flip-flop a lot. It's whatever side of the pillow they wake up on. But Amel, I know he's always got me. I know Amel's always got me.
Gen 6 League anyway. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
My buddy Kurt.
Yeah, Gen 7 League.
Yeah, my buddy Kurt runs a Gen 6 League.
Yeah,
PMU.
I might have to. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna throw my hat in the ring for that. That sounds fun. I'd rather do a Gen 6 League than a Gen 7 League if I had to do a past Gen 1. Just because, like, I did my time in Gen 7. I got like 3 titles, but I never got a Gen 6 title.
I don't have any Wi-Fi titles. Not one. I have 5 Showdown ones.
I have 2 Wi-Fi titles. And
I have
1 Showdown title.
Fucking
my
5.
ESA, and I also won on Wi-Fi AP Academy Season 1 with my very, very apparently controversial final, to say the least, or playoff run as a whole, to say the least, because apparently that threw a lot of people up in the air. And then there was another league I won. I forget what it was. I know I won another Wi-Fi.
The first league I ever uploaded. What do you eat for breakfast every morning? She does not eat curry, according to Amel. Sir, I never got what you're playing on VGC back this last weekend. I got busy. No worries, boss. It is the holidays. I feel you.
Oh, Henry, it's less of a Gen 6 like Z-Moose thing. It's more so just like, I feel like a lot of top mons in Gen 7 are still like really top mons now. Not a lot really changed in terms of viable mons. I think it's more so like Gen 6, like there's a legitimate change in like the throne keeping mons. Like Lando T isn't like a top mon, for example. To be fair, actually it isn't really this gen either. So that's more similar, I guess, with Gen 6. But like, for example, Keldeo was like a top mon, Drill was like a top mon.
It's like the power level was like early Gen 8 power level.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of what I like.
Actually, it was better though because I
yeah.
had more. There were still more mons. Early Gen 8, I think back on that meta because I was doing research for the history of the Galard X metas and stuff like that for the first Draft League history episode. Spoilers, little bit of inside info here on the stream. I was doing that. Discharge. We're getting all moved. Heck yeah.
Hi guys, how are you today?
But I was doing that, and I was kind of thinking back on the early Gen 8 meta, and I was looking at some of the drafts and some of these teams like, dude, this this format fucking sucked. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Big Lando, here he is.
Ooh. And yeah, I mean, I kind of get that for him. Like, it's not like I feel like in Gen 7, if it went undrafted, that'd be a crime. This gen in Gen 6, though, while I think it should always go drafted, it's not like. I think the best way to put it would be kind of like Zapdos. I think like Zapdos is a mon that, while it's a really good mon, I would at least get if it didn't go. Oh shit, there was a clinker. Okay, I should have switched. But like, Lando T, I think in Gen 7, that would have been a crime. This gen or like Gen 6, I could at least kind of get it.
Yeah, I do have to say, I will die on this hill. Lando is still a late round 1 mon. Some people are telling me,
no, it's still a good mon.
My APA Evo team this season, people were like, because in my head I'm like, dude, this team's fucking crazy because I love the mons on it. I got Coco, Lando T, Zardex. Which, like, if you threw that back to Gen 7, people are gonna say, "How the fuck did you get that?"
Quite literally.
Yeah, people are gonna say, "Wait, you got 2 top 5 mons and Zardex in the 3rd round?" Well,
speaking of, I remember Gen 7. There was one of the IBA seasons. I ghosted odds in his draft, got him Coco, Mega Medi, and then round 3 Lando T.
Nah, it was so I know Brody. Like, that's like one of the few mons Brody knows how to use is Mega Medi.
Yeah,
no, he had it this most recent IBA season, and he didn't do very good, but Mega Medi had like 18 kills.
Oh yeah, no, that's like the only mon I know that he can really confidently use. I built like all his teams this season. He made finals, and then he choked finals the one time I didn't build his team. He did ask me to be fair, but he still built the team himself, and I was just like, yeah. But I built his team for like half the season. He made finals. Then I stopped helping him build like a little bit, like a league or two after that, and now apparently he's like Indigo level. Truly a shame.
Yeah.
Truly a shame. Poor Throats.
He doesn't retain information very well, unfortunately.
Yeah, I remember back when he used to be peak. That was, to be fair, I'm not gonna take all the credit for that. He still like played a lot better then. Like, just objectively, he played a lot better. But yeah, no, he's built also a lot sloppier since, to say the least.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you pilot Brody with a good team, he could usually.
He's one of those people I think that like with a good builder, I think he could actually like at least like consistently break even 6-4, 7-3. I don't think he would ever be able to win though. Like,
that's very nice. That's very nice of you to say so. I think with good build support, Brody would go like clean 5-5. He'd be a 500 player. There was a streak last summer though.
A while, to be fair. It was like this was just what I last saw.
Yeah. At the end of last summer, Brody went on like a crazy hot streak where he was losing maybe like a game every couple weeks. He made playoffs in IBA on his own. Actually, no, Jacob was a little but he made playoffs in IBA. I believe he made it to quarters where he lost. Actually, not because he built his own team, but because he let Jacob build him his team. And
I heard about that.
Jacob was on like a really big high with mono Dragon Tail mons, and he played Kurt, and he brought fucking mono Dragon Tail Superior. It was very funny. I think it was Kurt.
I remember hearing about that. I remember that being like a huge thing in staff or something. Oh my god, that was funny. That was super funny.
The Wizard. Thank you, Amo. Let's go. There was a point, and then like he was in UPO Wi-Fi that season we did Ubers. And what do you call it? He took over Steven's team and Steven dropped, and he piloted really. To be fair, he had Yveltal, which like that come on to carry everybody. But
that could carry.
He made himself all the way to playoffs, and then I played him in quarterfinals, and I beat him on like it would have been like a 3-0 if he didn't hack, but it was a good game. I only won 1-0. Because I played super safe to not get hacked, and I like sacked 2 mobs to guarantee put him in like Mega Loop bullet pump range with Yveltal, with Toxic and stuff. But what do you call it? He played super well that season. He was like on a tear, and then like Gen 8 hit, and he like stopped playing for a little bit, and then just reverted. All the way
I didn't want to interrupt the conversation, by the way, but to meta, yeah, Intimidate nerf sucks. Definitely hurts. Fran, obviously, I mean, it has store power, so I'm not shocked you were able to beat Water Grounds. And Zero, I'm not hosting a tournament. I hate tournaments like passionately. 8mon is a format. I could go on a whole rant for the rest of the stream of how much I hate 8mon and why I hate 8mon. Also just why I hate tours as a whole. But I'm not gonna do that because I'd rather not make myself pissed off when I end this stream. Oh shit, rat time.
Question: what's my favorite color? Your favorite color, according to Amel, is purple.
Oh shit, trainer. Oopsies. Oh, I mean, there's other options too, like Toxic, Pain Split, like even just Overheat does a lot to Mons at +2, so I'm not too shocked. Oh, Richter. Okay, well that obviously makes sense.
But yeah, I do miss
I miss Gen 6 a lot. Gen 6, I think Gen 6
I didn't
had,
play
like, a lot
Gen
of
6 draft, so I'm not super like attached.
I didn't know Gen 6 draft.
I didn't. I started like mid Gen 7.
Yeah, we should.
So.
I'll try and find some good Gen 6 matchups. We can maybe do one of those this week. Well, actually, no. We should do Gen 7 this week at least. If it does not horrible, we can do a Gen 6.
Yeah.
But I want to do Gen 7. I like the idea of doing Gen 7 just to prove a point that there is still a Gen 7 audience out there.
Oh, 100%.
Can't even say it with a straight
right.
face.
It is ripe for the picking.
Yeah, you know what? My Gen 7 audience is right here, guys. If you are interested in a Gen 7 Wi-Fi battle, let me know. I feel like there's an audience for it.
Oh shit! It just swaggered me, and I'm at +6 attack. No!
Yeah.
No! Don't hit yourself.
You're gonna literally kill yourself in confusion.
Just full heal, help with confusion.
I mean, Brad, I know that to be fair, but like I'm specifically talking about like just there's a lot different of an audience that would watch Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battles versus Sword and Shield, and no one's like googling Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battles. They're googling Sword and Shield, how to win with Calyrex, or how to win with Red Bielecki, or other really clickable mons. No one's like, regardless of which gen is better, no one's looking up Gen 7 right now because no one's uploading. So that's just the thing. And even if like Owen and I do a Gen 7 Wi-Fi battle, no one's gonna find it besides like our native audiences.
Yeah, like our subs are gonna watch it, but not
like,
really anyone.
Even then, it's not even gonna be all our subs. It's gonna be the people that are like die-hard fans that will watch it, and like a couple other people. See, exactly, Zero. Like, and that's not. I don't blame anyone for not watching.
Sitting to the side this whole stream because this dog will not like play anywhere else besides my lap. So I have to like prop my legs up on my bed. But we're gonna try and put her on the thing. Look how pissed she is that I woke her up. Hey.
But yeah, no, I would genuinely not blame anyone for not watching Gen 7 Wi-Fi battle. It's literally last gen. No one plays it anymore. It's not like I genuinely.
It's really fun. I will say it is fun to play Gen 7. I played those of you guys who are new subs here, like 2 or 3 months ago. I uploaded a Gen 7 Wi-Fi league called IBA that our buddy that we were just talking about, Brody, ran. Well, it's his league, Kurt ran it. But we did really good there. It was a lot of fun. I had Celesteela, Mega Diancie, Komodo, a bunch of really fun mons, and like it was just a really fun Gen 7 league. And we got to use Emus again. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun playing in it, and it was really fun post-comming and feeling super nostalgic and like, this is how I used to make content. And I will say, I miss the feeling of Gen 7 draft so much. I think Gen 7 draft and like the community around it and like the upload scene and stuff like that was so much more fun than Gen 8. Gen 8 is just it's just very meh to me. I don't know.
You
like
mentioned this before, like this analogy, and I 100% agree with it, that it feels like a business deal. And I could not agree with that more. I think when you heard that, like it clicked super well how true that is. Because basically, for anyone who isn't a Gen 7 Wi-Fi player, it's a little different from a Showdown Gen 8 League. But basically, you go into your match, 2 matches a week use scheduling chat, the other 6 use DMs. And they'll DM, they'll be like, hi, this is when I'm around, when are you around? Hi, this is when I'm around. Let's do it completely out of your schedule.
You play and then you're like, alright, good game. And you never talk to them again.
Like, okay, fine, I guess I'll change my schedule for you. Then you play person who originally wanted you to change your schedule is an hour late. You then say, yeah, GG, even though you got hacked. And then you just don't talk until you're like, oh, when are you uploading this, by the way? And that's it. Like obviously, if there are people who are like closer, they'll talk a bit more. But for the majority of the player base, that's how it goes. And it's a very good analogy. I could not agree more with Owen on that. It's super true. Like I talk with Owen, I talk with like friend Josh,
Drafting seems very
Shay here and there. There's not a lot. There really isn't a lot. Gen 7 was at least like you at least probably talk to half the coaches in the league, if not like 2/3, in my opinion. In most leagues, there are some that are like.
I will say how NCP's been doing it, and hopefully how BBR does it going forward. Where we is there a big hole in my green screen for me? I like a hole. Yeah, but look, good thing I'm sitting. I like how NCP's been doing like the live battle roles and having coaches join VC and watch. Yeah. I think that's really cool, and it's actually kept decent activity in the Wi-Fi leagues. Every other Wi-Fi league I've played in, though, before NCP this season, and honestly before BBR this season, which has actually been pretty decently active, past draft in week 1 or 2, completely dead. Nobody talks.
Yeah, I think it's definitely helped a lot. Corey, I mean, I kind of had to. It was kind of, I mean, it's true, just as true for Wi-Fi as for Showdown. It's super true. I don't think really anyone can deny that. But yeah, that's just how draft. To be fair, I think the GG thing specifically is just a Gen 8 thing this gen. I think like everyone like makes some excuse for how they lost, and it's always hacks. Even if it's just like your opponent got like 1% better of a roll than they needed, even though it was
nobody
like,
actually loses. Nobody actually loses.
Yeah, no one actually. Like literally, you could have only needed you could have only gotten a minimal to live, and any other roll was different, and you would have complained it was hacks. And that's not. When I say you, I don't mean Owen specific. I mean like this is just an everyone mentality. It's just how it is this gen. And I think that's definitely like a huge
super far behind on chat. Drafting seems very stressful. When you get sniped, do you choose a worse mon than the one you wanted? Like someone taking beauty source, do you pick Bioplume, or do you choose a different mon entirely? It depends. It just depends on what roles you're trying to fill. If you need a specific typing and a specific niche filled, then yeah, sometimes you are kind of screwed to pick a lower mon that you didn't want to originally take. I'm trying to think of a good example for that.
Probably like, let's say if you want like, well, I think the best example, I have to compare like a Gen 7 thing, but like Nita Queen, for example, to like Nita King.
Yeah, if you wanted like the bulk hero. Yeah, that is a decent one.
Yeah.
Or like
that's like the best one I could think of, to be honest. Literally, because I just ran into one. That's quite literally it. Or like Lycanroc Dust or like Lycanroc Day.
Yeah, like, you need a rocker in that 110 speed tier. Or say you really wanted Mudsdale and it got sniped, and I wouldn't even say Paloswine's that big of a downgrade. I'm not gonna say that. I say Paloswine's gone. Yeah, you wanted Mudsdale and it got sniped, so you're stuck with. There's so many good low tier grounds. The worst one. Sand Slash. Rhydon, something like that.
That's actually a great one.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that's it does suck, and that's just kind of the name of the game. But that's also just being prepared to take some things a little bit earlier if you know it's paramount to your team and you know there isn't a lot of ways to fulfill that role anymore. It's just smart to do it. Or like wanting Sylveon and having to take Togekiss or Florges or something like that because Sylveon gets taken. You just have to make sure you're prioritizing the right things at the right times. So I want to hear some funny BS. I was going to start uploading a Renegade Platinum Nuzlocke Friday, but apparently A-Drive started one yesterday. Ooh. Even better, he's using the same upload schedule I was going to use. No, I can hear you like drowning from underneath him.
Yeah, if you do that, I'm telling you right now, Shadow, don't do it. You're going to get called a copycat.
Also, how dare you ride the A-Drive wave?
So guys, I 100% agree with your point. We brought it up because APA is considering it. For Fran, yeah, I miss Lele being broken too. Let's see what other things. Corey and Henry, I both agree 100% with those. Same as Fran. Like that's literally like that's the point. Like everyone will make some excuse, even if it wasn't hacks. It's like Showdown didn't cancel my move. I was this and I had this much investment.
My stomach hurts. I brought.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I love Josh. I love Mr. Ultra Player a bunch. He's a great guy, but I think this is the perfect one. I'm not even gonna talk about the GG thing in NCP Wi-Fi. I guess I'm kind of spoiling it. No, I can't say it. Oh, damn it, I'm spoiling my own games.
But I will say, like, I love Josh, too. Josh is one of my favorite people. I will say, though, that when I did read that back after my...
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
That was super funny. For your game, right? For your game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say I love Josh. And to be fair, usually I do agree. He's right on a lot of things he does, even if he does get a bit...
he's fine. I'm not even talking about like the whole situation, Nate. Just that specific one that was funny because if I didn't lose, I would have won.
Yeah, no, that's sort of like the mentality, I guess, and it's not as
a lot of players are like that. I get like that sometimes. I'm like, you know what? I've had
moments where I've done that. Even like I'm not gonna act like I'm innocent or anything. I, to be fair, feel like I at least do it a lot less than other people, but I'm not gonna again get on that horse because I know I'm still guilty of it. But it feels like this gen especially, it's become a lot more of a thing for just everyone. And there are obviously people who don't. and there are people who will say they don't even know there's tons of like proven recordings or like replays of them acting like it. But it's a lot more of a just generally accepted thing, I guess.
Something I do with that a lot is I know someone brings something I don't necessarily agree with. I'll be like, yes, you shouldn't have brought that. I do it all the time. I don't agree with that bring. In my fucking BBL video, I still don't think you should have brought an offensive belt all. I remember I asked him, he was like, Clef was my my martial check. I said, did you calc for Poltergeist? And he didn't respond to me. Yeah. But I was like, I don't agree. I don't think you should have brought this set. I say I don't agree a lot. Because a lot of the time I don't. That's like my dick.
It's like
Corey, I will stand on that hill until I die. Why the fuck were you max speed right period? That made me so mad. I was so upset after that game. He said I wanted to be right period. He said I was max speed right period because I wanted to be fast.
I mean, if it was like a suicide lead and it wasn't like a vital mon.
No, it was rock polish.
Oh, it was rock polish? Okay. Well, that's a little something else. I probably would have thrown some bolt in there, to be honest. This kind of fun.
Kyle's Kanga set. Oh shit, D-Ray run.
Oh shit, no, I lost my Torque. I don't know if the crit even mattered, to be honest. I literally can't fucking. This mod is such a pain to switch it on.
Wasn't that the team you had Mega Diancie? And yes, Shadow, that is the team I had Mega Diancie on. I love Mega D, and that's one of the. I love Mega so much too. That's another reason I really miss Gen 7 and you know, just Megas in general. It's just a fun mechanic.
Oh, 100%. That's why we should 100%. You have I could link the Academy doc. We should do a match with our Academy teams. I don't think we ever played an Academy last season or for season 2.
Oh yeah, I don't think we did.
Fuck,
my Academy team sucked.
My Academy team was fire.
My team sucked.
It was okay. I like the Mega Arrow plus Lunala plus Weavile plus Lando I. That's what I liked about it. I didn't like Well, I liked Rose Raid actually. That's all
I liked. Yeah, I didn't like my team. My team sucked.
The team was awful, but like I liked the Mons on the team.
Wow, baby rage. That's me, Big. I'll be honest. I get a little baby rage sometimes. I'm very sweaty when it comes to Mons.
Do you have like an S-tier league team? We can do that. I have a ton of S-tier league teams.
I could go back and look through like some of my old favorite teams and stuff like that too. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, screw him. I'm gonna do it anyways. Let's see, I'm copying him better than him at Nuzlocke. There we go. I love the mentality, Mr. Shadow.
Yeah, I saw some of the matchups, and I'll be honest, it seemed like a lot of these people were just picking like matchups they played in, or like just really lock fighting matchups that like it would be obvious who's gonna win going into it.
Dude,
so, like the Wolfie Envy game, it's pretty obvious whoever.
Do you remember that game? I'm gonna get in trouble for talking about this on stream. That was like one of the worst games of all time. Like,
oh yeah, no.
Not that Wolfie played bad. Wolfie played fine. He just played like a competent human. I remember Envy played the game.
Yeah, that was probably like.
That game made my stomach hurt watching it. I remember getting so annoyed.
It's ridiculous.
I remember getting so annoyed, and thank God there's only 7 people in my stream because I would say this on stream. I was so annoyed, especially because you cannot convince me otherwise that Gator threw on purpose to get Envy into finals. You cannot convince me otherwise that is 100% what fucking happened. He brought.
I personally.
He brought 2 moves on each Pokemon.
But yeah, no, I personally though, that game was such a bad game.
Oh yeah, I remember we watched it in call, me and Jason, and the whole time we were just dying laughing. It made no fucking sense.
Wolfie Kyle game. I'm gonna be honest. If it's not a Gen 8 team for Kyle, I mean Kyle. To be fair, I will say Kyle has improved his drafting like by miles in Gen 8. I will say.
He's gotten a lot better in general in Gen 8. He wasn't too hot in Gen 7. Like he had that one good APA season where he won.
Yeah, Kyle.
But since Gen 8, he's been killing it, at least in the Wi-Fi scene.
Yeah, no, Kyle this gen, in my opinion, I wouldn't call him like a top 5 player or anything. I saw that on Twitter. That's why I'm mentioning it. But I will say though that I think Kyle is not bad. Like I think that Kyle.
No, I think he's a very good. Yeah, he's very creative too, and he's not afraid to bring some cool shit. Like he fucked me up with the Arctivish. That was a crazy set. I will say since we're.
I think was carried a bit by his front office to say the least. And that I think it's proven by stats, less so by my opinion. But I will say. I would say probably like an upper third Wi-Fi player. I would say, and I feel like it's just kind of proven by his records. Like I don't think he's had a league this season, like this gen, that he's went even, let alone negative. He's definitely killed a lot this gen. I would not pick any matchup though for a showcase that was Gen 7 or Gen 6 Kyle. I don't even know if Kyle played draft Gen 6, but I would not pick a Gen 7 Kyle draft. Just personally, I love Kyle. Kyle's a great guy.
He's super nice. Kyle's an awesome guy.
Kyle's such a nice guy. I think
I do want to talk about the Twitter thing though, because I thought it was really funny. Because again, I think this like epitomized how disconnected the showdown scene is from the Wi-Fi scene when Kyle was like when they were like top 5 players and he was like fucking Wolfie and people like that, and I'm like, I was thinking in my head, I was like, my top 5 is pretty different.
I will say though, if Evolve of Wi-Fi, I would at least agree with Wolfie. I would not agree with the rest of his list though.
Yeah, Wi-Fi, it wasn't that bad, and they were all good. They're all good players. Like, I'm not shit talking the players themselves, but like the disconnect between them and like, I mean, look at, I look at like, I think the disconnect this gen even more because of how difficult it is to play Wi-Fi, like and upload content for it and stuff like that, is so unbelievably massive. Like, I feel like the two communities don't even know of each other. Like, I think like the Showdown side like knows who like the big Wi-Fi draft league YouTubers are, the Let's Players. They like know of them, don't really care too much about them. But the Wi-Fi draft leaguers, they think like this is draft league, this is it. It's just this Wi-Fi thing, and I don't think they realize there's an entire scene of people who play
from API, but it's just WB and a little bit of other leagues.
Yeah, so and I feel like these guys like, and like they don't know there's an entire other side of the community that plays and sweats and has like gotten this down to much more of a science because they play it a lot. They've played a lot more and a lot longer because of the accessibility of Showdown. And I think like the culture shock they would have playing players that are, we have DPL going on right now, like playing those kinds of guys would be like culture shock.
They would. Oh yeah, no, I know. Actually, real quick, I will address this because I think it's kind of important. I will say, I think that Kyle's list was fair. If you go off of only leagues that Kyle has played in,
like Wi-Fi leagues and stuff.
Kyle has played like more than once. If you go off of only people that Kyle has played more than once, and you go off of leagues that Kyle does actively play in, I think his list was at least not awful. Specifically talking about just this gen. It could have been better. Like, I probably wouldn't have put Aaron in the list. That's just a minor opinion. I think he's a great builder. I think he kind of still needs to work on drafting personally. But he has picked it up. He's for sure picked it up. I do think that if I was to pick top 5 Wi-Fi, specifically Wi-Fi, I would probably put Wolfie first. Then I would have probably put wow, I'm not really sounding like I'm sucking Owen off, but I'd probably put Owen second. I think that Owen is fairly consistent.
When I know how to play on Wi-Fi. I think I'm a really good player in general. I had a pretty rough stretch there.
I wouldn't say I had Wi-Fi though. I would probably put actually no, never mind. I'd put Vex a second. Then I would put you. Then I'd probably put Aim, and then I'd probably put Jay, if I want to say.
Jay when he fucking tries, yeah.
If we're not counting Jay anymore because he's like retired from Wi-Fi, I'd probably put Josh as my 5th for top 5 Wi-Fi. And I think Kyle.
Or what about Mr. Shuckle King?
Shuckle King. Oh, you know what? I forgot Shuckle King. Okay, Shuckle will be mine.
Shuckle is a fucking stud.
I love you personally.
He's the dumbest good Pokemon player I've ever met. That dude says some dumb things sometimes, but he's very good at the game.
Oh yeah, Shuckle's great at the game. I would probably put Shuckle above you. You would still probably be my top 5. I would probably put Kyle either my 10th spot or like just out of my top 10, specifically Wi-Fi, and only talking about this gen. If we talked about like career average, Kyle would not make it just because Gen 7 hurt Kyle a lot. But off of just this gen, I think Kyle would probably like just make or just bubble out of my top 10 for Wi-Fi personally. I think he picked up a lot this gen.
Yeah, when I was saying like Kyle's list was like funny to me, it's not that I like, I thought like he's objectively wrong. I just think like it just shows how skewed like how separated the two parts of the draft is. Because like, I mean, I'm sure Pokegame knows of DPL. He played in it that one season, and when he played,
that's a suicidal video to make. Oh my god, a coach's tier list. Oh
yeah. This is already tough to. I'm only talking about this because I got 7 viewers chilling in chat right now. If I was chilling with like 20, 25 concurrent, we would be talking about the very pretty setting in Sword and Shield or something.
Exactly.
But what do you call it?
To be fair, I feel like it would depend on the person. I would definitely like talk about this with Kyle. I think it's a very fair thing. I think Kyle at least would understand because I'm friendly with Kyle. I don't talk with Kyle a ton, but I'm friendly with Kyle. Yeah. I wouldn't. If this was someone like just making a list, I would not be having this conversation though. Because I feel like it would be rude to have it with someone I don't like actively at least know. But I think Kyle's list is fair for what he knows. And it's nothing on Kyle to say that. I think it's just.
Do you remember? Do you remember Pokemon's record in DPL when he played like season?
DPL? He went like 4-3, I think.
He did? Okay, so like, yeah, it just shows. I just remember seeing his week 1 game where he played lap.
Sure. His week 1 game was insanely tilting, to be fair. But he was actually on my team in DPL.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was phenomenal build. I think
you built all.
happened. Yeah, once like week 3 hit though, he really like got his shit in gear though. He was mocking like 20 times a week. He was building like.
Oh, so he grinded for it. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Ever since week 3, he to be fair was pretty like week 1. He kind of just underestimated like how it would be. Week 2, like he put in some work, but not a ton. Week 3 though, when he was 0-2, he shredded week 3.
That's
he spent like 3-4 hours in the matchup. Like from then on, he was a really like. At least for himself, to be fair. Like obviously, like he didn't like go on everyone's matchups. He did a couple people, to be fair. But he like carried himself the second that he like really realized that he needed to pick up his shit, and he did solid. Like I'll be honest. I told I this, but I genuinely thought that he was gonna be dead. And that's nothing.
I'm a big poke. I don't think I've missed a poke game video in a good minute. I love watching his shit.
I love
and he's a very good Pokemon player, but like draft, he doesn't have the same experience, you know?
I love Joey. Joey's a great guy. He really he helped me restarting my channel, to say the least, in case if that gives any credibility to me saying that I do like Joey a lot. I think he's a phenomenal person.
But I think that shows you when he went 0-2 to start. Like it shows this is like a lot of these showdown dudes, they're a different breed. Like it's a lot more difficult to deal with and hard to stop. Especially also, like I see a lot of like the really good Wi-Fi players, and then like people who are considered good in Wi-Fi. I'm like, and I something I always do mentally is I look at APA's league system and I'm like, I think it would be here. Like that's what I like. That's my immediate thing, and I just think
exactly what I think as well. To be honest, I don't blame you.
I'll go like he's Audi level, or he's probably like he could probably hang an Ascension or something like that. But yeah, it's crazy.
I will say the point I was gonna make earlier, but I wanted to take the moment to preface before I got into it about what I thought in Kyle's list, at least for his perspective. I will say that there was actually another precedent of this. I don't know if you know the famous Envy and NPL situation, where Envy, I think he went either 0-1 or 0-2. I forget the exact record, but he just dropped the right after.
Yeah. That happens a lot. I mean, that happens in a lot of leagues with a lot of these guys.
Showdown league, do they think they're gonna go well and they lose a couple games?
They're like, I'm that dude. Yeah, I'm this guy who does well on YouTube, so I must.
I will say though, I respected a ton because I was also worried, especially after the MPL thing, that the Joey was gonna pull something similar. There's nothing on Joey's character. I think Joey is.
I was gonna say something. I thought when I saw he joined, I was like, oh shit, that's dope. Joey's doing DPL.
Worth his time in that point, which I mean, it's fair. Joey literally makes money off of Mons. I think that if he wasn't doing well, he would have every right to do it because it's literally his job. But I genuinely was worried that like he was just gonna give up. But that's what, again, more so.
I think the reason he's such a good player is because of that competitive edge. Despite it being a job, he still sees it like, oh shit, I still want to be good at Pokemon. And I can still get better. You know, doing this.
On Joey as a player, I want to make sure that is clear.
Yeah, I think he doesn't play a lot of draft too, and I think it's impressive that a lot of these dudes are as good as they are when they don't play as much as we do. In all of our leagues, because we're small and they're not draft focused channels. We're draft focused channels, so that's like all we do. There's not a time where I'm not in at least 3 leagues. For me, personally. I know a lot of other people are a little bit less. Xerneas! What the fuck do you have Xerneas in your Veltal? I have my steel type though now. I'm actually sweeping it with Escab.
Escab's get a spare move anyway. Also, Fran, I'm telling you right now, I probably dropped at least like 15-20 leagues. Some of them just been because I didn't feel like it. Some of them have been because of IRL stuff. Some of them just been because the leagues are run horribly or like commissioners suck or whatever the reason. If you feel like dropping a league, just drop it. To be fair, there are some leagues that's not a good idea. Like if you were to drop a really notable league, if you don't have a backup,
a lot of them you won't get back into at another point.
You just won't get back into it. If it's like a small league, you probably get away with it because you're probably not going to talk to those people again.
Like say Old T. If I were to I got into Old T Harmony this season, I was like, oh shit, I got in. If I was like not feeling it after 2 weeks, and I was like, I don't want to drop, they probably would never let me in again. You probably get blacklisted. They would probably quite literally like see his application and just delete it within 5 seconds. It was like if it was like a Hive, or well, actually Hive would probably be a little bit less just because it's a bit more of a server now, less of a league. Like an LD, APA. APA gives the 2-strike system. If you drop twice in any 2 APA leagues, no matter what they are, you're just your app is just dismissed. I can safely say that because I'm commissioner of APA and I feel like that's something I'm entitled to say. But yeah, man,
no, it's just
I miss the old days of Gen 5. It was so easy to make and upload games. I wish I was around during that time. I fucking love Gen 5. I wish, my biggest wish is like a competitive player. I wish I started playing comp and DPP because I love DPP so much. It's my favorite like standard meta ever. I would have killed to be around during that time.
Should I work at it? Shows it died. I don't know how I forgot that. It just died. I completely forgot to box it.
Slick for top 5. Slick, are you gonna? I know you were like thinking about
Yeah.
ordering an Elgato and you're getting a new PC. Are you still planning on like getting into Wi-Fi and uploading and stuff? It's been a
Pretty
minute
sure he
since I
said
asked you.
I'm almost certain he mentioned he got it. If he did, I told Slick right now. I told him I would make his thumbnails for him.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah,
Yeah, Slick, I think that would be awesome. We need more people to make Draft League content.
Yeah.
We need more people to make Mons content. Just bring the hype back a little bit.
I 100% agree. Yeah, friend, I'm telling you right now, there have been several leagues that I've dropped for the smallest of reasons. If you feel like dropping a league, drop it. Just make sure you keep in mind you probably won't get back in. But if it doesn't phase you, I mean, just
Yeah, if it's just a one-off league, and don't overload. I'm the king of overloading on leagues, and I'm being like, shit, I'm not having fun anymore. And then you go into a big slump because you're playing mods and you're not enjoying it, and you don't get quality over quantity. At least maybe at first join 5 or 6 leagues, really get a feel for the format. After that, chill and coast in 2 to 4 max, and just enjoy it.
I'd say the opposite. I'd say starting 2, get a feeling for how you like to build, then do like 4 or 5 in like your grinding period, and then once you've like won a title or 2, then go to like
just chill.
But I like to start. I could not recommend more to start off with 2 leagues, not 3, not 1. Start off with 2 leagues because you can try different building styles, and compare and contrast it a lot easier with 2 versus 3, and see what works and doesn't work. And once you like get a feel for how you want to build, then do like the 4 or 5 grind, because then you could grind out a couple titles while you're like feeling it and feeling yourself, and then like start going for stuff. That's what I actually just recommended it to SV after we played for BBL.
WBE is very entertaining. But I find a lot of the teams to be pretty boring. Last season I had a few good teams like Viz, Chimpack, and Callum, but I hate Joey's and most others. VG, I remember the WBE teams like the back of my hand because I did the PRs with Shuckle, which was very painful. It is a very entertaining league. Yes. Yeah. Watching them and how they play, I wouldn't like if a new Draft League player whenever a new Draft League player comes to, like, and I'm talking to someone who's just starting, they're like, what league should I watch? Who should I watch to like figure things out? I probably wouldn't send them WBE's way, minus maybe Joey.
Minus Joey and Wolfie, that would be it.
Yeah, and Wolfie was playing doubles. So like I said, like if you want to learn draft, I think Joey is a pretty good, especially starting piece. And then after that, I always say go watch Gypsy. I always say watch as much Gypsy content as you can. There's not a Draft League game on that dude's channel that I haven't watched. I think it's the best way to get better is watching him when he was at his peak and uploading and stuff like that. You get such good insight. Every time I watch, I find, like, I always watch his shit when I'm in a slump, and I always find things that I'm not doing very good, and I'm like, oh shit, he does this differently, and I'll do it. It really does help a ton.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and sound biased here at all, because it kind of comes across that way. But personally, I think that the best Gypsy content to watch is his BBL Season 2 run, and that's less so because
I love that season. Yeah, it's such a nasty team too. Yeah,
like his team is really good. I think Gypsy did a phenomenal job, like really explaining like the fundamentals of why he picked what he did, and it wasn't like NPL broken. I think like it was more broken than that. But I think the biggest reason why that I would recommend that is because Gypsy's builds for a format that he had never played in before against Moz he never played in, and still just how well he understood it.
He just, you could tell that dude was so good. He pulled up, he did BBL and just smacked everybody around. The only person who came close to beating Gypsy was Panther in both those 2 games. Panther gave him a run for his money, and that was like sweat Panther.
I also gave him a run for his money. I was actually the only person in main season to like nearly take a win from him. It came down to hacks, to be fair. I hacked him.
Oh yeah, you're close. Your game was close, and then Panther lost to a 1-0. Panther lost to a 1-0 in regular season.
CJ was like a 2-0 as well. Yeah, it was the whole Magirna team, to put it in perspective. That's why Gypsy is the sole reason why Magirna has started and since continued spiking in price in BBL, because it still goes round 1 because of Gypsy, in my opinion. I will 100% attribute to Gypsy. Magirna would not want round 1 as a 20-point mon with no Z if it wasn't because of how well Gypsy used it and showed how good it is. Yeah, I will refuse to
nasty, and he had such a nasty team with it too. It was so good.
I think Gypsy showed mons like for example Buzzwall that are just a lot better in this format, and just other stuff like that. He really, like, for someone who never played Ubers or Ubers draft, he really understood what he was doing, and I think that's especially good. He came into it with a fresh set of eyes, so it's good for anyone else coming to draft with a fresh set of eyes, even if you're not playing Ubers. I think it's a great.
He did that with LC too, with APA LC.
I think in LC I wouldn't necessarily recommend as heavily.
Well, I'm saying like to watch. No, I'm saying like it's just yeah. I mean, LC is so different from regular draft. Probably not a good reason to watch, but like I think that just shows the kind of player he is. He didn't play a lot of LC before, as far as I know. And he pulled up, and the only person to beat him was Panther in the regular season, and Gypsy choked, and Panther's one of the best Little Cup players ever. And then everybody else, body bag, just did really, really well the entire season and won the championship. Going like what? 11-1 throughout playoffs.
Gypsy still. I will say that, as I said, I think that would be the first thing I recommend. If not, I would recommend his NPL team that had Selly. There was like a Selly Suicune Tang team with like a DNC. That would be the other like go-to I would recommend if you're looking for a specific Gypsy season. Super dumb team. I think it's a super.
I think he had Lando. Yeah, he had Lando, Megadia, Hydreigon.
That's another good one actually. I was talking about the Selly Megadia one with like Suicune Tang.
Didn't he? I thought he had Lando. I thought he had Lando on that team too.
Lando Selly? I don't think he. I mean, maybe he did.
I think he might have. I feel like I just watched that season. But yeah,
it's been forever since I went back and watched it. But Gypsy, I will say, I agree with Owen. I don't watch a lot of draft content. I watch some people. Like I watch Owen,
a shit ton.
I watch Owen because it started as a meme because of the fact that I was Owen's #1 fan, and then it just sort of like I just happened to start watching Owen a lot, and I just happened to continue watching Owen a lot. But I watch like Owen. I watch Gypsy, and I watch Nexus's games that he tells me were insane when I help him build for them.
Fucking love it. That's funny. Slick says something in my
occasionally other games.
Slick said something in my chat. He said, bro, I live for Nexus's games. Nexus is very interesting to watch. And when I did the WBE PRs, I watched all the games on 2x speed, and that is an experience. In a half.
I can't watch 2x through there, but I've tried it once for Nexus. It is something else.
It is so funny. Oh shit, I fell behind. Again, DPP Wi-Fi was a wild time. I would love, that would be fun content to do, and I know there's a way to do it, and I want to figure it out eventually. I want to do old Gen's Wi-Fi battles. I know Kaz used to do it when he uploaded.
Yeah, I was gonna plan in the new year to possibly try and do some of that. I'll try and hit up Kaz and figure it out, and then I can teach you if you want.
Dude, I would. And I know BKC. BKC is a YouTuber I watch. I don't know if you know who BKC is, Liv. But,
BKC, I've heard of him.
He writes all the False Light Gaming's like single stuff, and he's an old Gens player mostly, and his whole channel focuses on old Gens, mostly Gen 3 and 4, but he does Gen 5 stuff too. I love his stuff. He's super analytical, but he did a couple Wi-Fi games recently, like some old DPP games, and it was awesome. Okay, let's catch up on chat.
Gen is just a lot harder to watch, to be honest. I feel like as
there's
well.
Not as many fun people playing it. No shade to everybody that comes out, but there's not as many fun leagues and fun people playing
I think a lot of people that do upload draft this game, and this is nothing on anyone specific. I think it's just a very common thing because a lot of people, I feel like, assume you could just pick up a mic and record, and people will watch. And to be fair, some people will. You'll always find someone, even if your content's not like anything insane or anything. And again, this is no shade at anyone specific. I think it's just a general thing. Because a lot of the people that like really put a lot of time into recording just don't anymore. Like for example, big example, Under the Radar. Not that I like religiously watch his stuff, but that's a person obviously who stopped uploading draft. I know that like even though I don't watch or necessarily like Dan, I know that he's talked about not necessarily wanting to do at least run WBE again. I could probably, if I really wanted to, make a list of people. Like Gypsy's another one that doesn't upload a lot of his draft anymore. And it's just a lot of people who like really did a lot of drafts, like high quality, just don't these days. And again, there's no shade on anyone specific. I think it's just the fact that the people who are at the top just aren't as much. And the people who weren't there just haven't improved a ton. There are people that still are. Like I think at mids, for example.
Yeah, I was just about to say mids glow up over the last like month and a half. It's been crazy quality wise.
Month and a half has actually like really blown up. I'll be honest, I couldn't watch a ton of mids vids before, but I mean now I can legitimately watch a mid vid and like enjoy it. Like he's definitely really picked it up. Matt as well. Ever since he moved out, he's been killing it because he's no longer doing monotone, and it's been super enjoyable to watch his stuff. But like it's like a very few amount of people compared to a ton of people that just stopped. So it definitely like it's just harder to watch draft content these days.
I aspire to play as well as that's a +1. Jesse 504. If I knew how to ban you, I would. Yeah, I definitely do one Wi-Fi league to start so I can ease myself into it. That is definitely smart, especially if you're uploading. I always recommend doing one at the start. I just uploaded NCP Wi-Fi Season 1 when I started uploading, and it was already kind of a little stressful, like figuring it out and like, you know, getting that all ready together. I think uploading one league at a time when you're first starting is definitely the move. I feel like taking part in one of those team battle leagues would be so much fun. I haven't really seen a whole lot of them besides the TBL. That did look interesting, and I like watching the videos, but scheduling would be a nightmare, so I would never play in one.
Yeah, I can safely say, I will say it was better than I thought going into it. I did it because, to be honest, I didn't have anything else going on that I remember, and Matt wanted to do it, and I was like, you know what? I had a team with Matt that was, and it was like, it was really just because Matt wanted to do it. Well, like Matt and I wanted to do it together, I should say, not because like just Matt wanted to do it. I'm not really huge in team battle leagues. I think they're a pain in the schedule, and it really only worked because of the time it happened. If I was to do that like I would never do it.
I think this is my first encounter because there's nothing else in front of me, and I'm taking it because I don't care what you all say. I'm catching Ments. This is my encounter for the route.
I'm gonna allow it, but I'm gonna call you meanie pants.
There
for
was
doing
literally nothing else in the wild.
I'm gonna have
Like
to-
I couldn't even walk past the Spence without running into it, and now he's mine.
it. Yeah,
okay.
no, that's fair. I'm looking at your screen now. That's pretty fair.
I thought it was AG, Suicune, Mega D, etc. It could have been. That could have been the AG season with Mega. No. He had Mega Medi with the AG season. That was MPO like season 7. His last season he
I
played.
remember that. That was another good one to watch. To be fair, all Gypsy's MPL runs were super
Yeah,
good.
that's cool because that's like
Movies,
like
but I love watching his
peak
MPL stuff.
draft. That's like imagine today. Imagine a Showdown League today being like upload required all of the best players in the format. It just wouldn't happen.
To be fair, I wouldn't say most of MPL was watchable. Most of it was pretty unwatchable. But like,
I just mean like the players playing in it, like
for sure.
The skill
I
level.
think Gypsy's MPL season was like that. Showdown content, in my opinion, will not get better than that. I will say there have been close attempts. Like for example, I actually really like John Jr.'s like Showdown movies of APA. Same as when Owen sends APA movies.
Yeah, I think if you upload Showdown content, movies are the move. I think it's hard to consistently follow them throughout time.
It's gonna be hard. I think it's gonna be really hard to like top in terms of just a normal thing. And at least with the movies, you sort of like go through like a whole like actual storyline. You could trim out like boring parts of battles because you know like the whole hindsight of what actually mattered in the season, what didn't.
Let's go.
So yeah, I think that and also for like turning points on the season, I think it's good to count. But there's not really a lot, in my opinion, for Showdown Draft that it really prefaces towards, in my opinion, other than like a movie format. Besides, I will say that Gypsy's MPL run is the exception to the rule. I don't even think of my Showdown content is the exception to the rule. I think it's literally just Gypsy's and then like movie content, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm not doing Showdown Draft anymore, and for upload wise at least. I don't enjoy it. I don't think it's as good.
I think Arctizzle is incredibly underrated since it got Slush Rush. Halos finally used outside of Bear Tick or Alone Surcharge. I agree. Actually, I think both of the Arctos are actually pretty good and slept on. I got booked up by an Arctivish like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun.
I wouldn't draft them in non-draft, but I will say in draft, I think they have merit. Also, I could go on a whole debate on why I think that Ashgren actually shouldn't be banned. But I know it's a very unpopular opinion to say the least. I think that Showdown Draft, especially this gen, super ridiculously over ban heavy. That's actually the whole reason I started BBL was because Showdown Draft, in my opinion, gets way too ban heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with mods like Ashgren, Lando I, especially Lando I. Lando is a huge fucking one. I get it on Wi-Fi because there's a lot less mods and especially a lot less good like switch-ins, like life scores missing, for example. It's a huge one. There are others, but I'm not going to dig through a whole list for them. But I will say though that I genuinely think that Showdown players especially are way too ban happy with mods. They're way too like, if a mod wasn't banned before or it wasn't allowed before, it should never be allowed. And it's just, it's so disheartening. Ashgren is a big example, especially compared to mons like, at least back in, back with like the DLC leaks Coco, or mons like
oh, yeah, people were so scared of Rep. Like, we have to ban Coco. We have to. I didn't think it was supposed to.
Mons like Coco, Lele with like Rising Voltage and Expanding Force, which I know some leagues allowed, not every league allowed, to be fair, but some leagues did. Mons like Lando I, for example. Mons like, fuck, whatchamacallit? Dragapult even. I would say that Ashgren is at least like on par with those. I think Ashgren's not bannable personally. I know I get if people do. I think it's not exactly an awful ban. I personally just don't agree with that. Also, Geospeed. Geospeed's a huge one. I don't know why people are such a pussy about banning Geospeed.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous. Geospeed and Dio Defense. Some leagues don't even allow Dio Defense, which is crazy.
Yeah. Okay, Dio Defense is like if you're banning Mega Kang these days, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's a whole other argument. Oh my god.
Matt's quality is so solid. Matt's quality is very good. I love his team builder slides. They're really, really good. And he's really good at he's good at enunciating and pronouncing his words. He's very easy to follow.
I remember Matt was super indifferent on the team builder slides, and I told him, Matt, the second you upgrade your team builder slides, I promise you're gonna get a lot more viewership. Because Matt's slides weren't like awful, to be fair, but like I think that the ones he has now, and I'm so glad I told him to go with Grant on as well, are so much better. And I'm super glad that he jumped the gun on those because they're so good. I'm also glad he got his layout afterwards because he mentioned getting the layout after the slides. I'm super glad he did that.
I will always remember. Oh wait, I skipped one. By the way, on what do you use to stream to YouTube? I use Streamlabs, OBS Streamlabs. I don't know why, but I still record on regular OBS just because I don't like to change and figure out the new one. I have both of them pinned to my taskbar, which I know is super counterproductive and makes no sense, but I do.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking teach you that. After the holidays, I'm getting you on the new OBS, like the better OBS.
I'm on Streamlabs right now.
Well, no, Streamlabs for streaming is fine. I agree with that. I'm talking about like the other. You mentioned though you don't use the other OBS for recording.
Oh, I just use the base OBS.
Like like not OBS Studio.
I think I use OBS Studio. Hold on, what does it say?
OBS and OBS Studio. If you use OBS,
Let me
like the
open
one
it up.
without.
Oh yeah, I use OBS and it's telling me to update it right now. I don't want to update it right now. I'll remind me later. No, I'm streaming. Go away. Awesome. Okay, yeah. No, I use OBS.
Personally, I actually like layouts with Showdown Leagues. Just a personal thing. I think it at the very least adds something aesthetically pleasing to Showdown. I don't think it's necessarily mandatory though, and I do agree. If you at least have a good if you at least have dark theme on Showdown, it's not bad. If you're post-comming, I think at the bare minimum though, you should have a layout. I don't think it's necessarily required with live comm, but I think for post-comming at least, you should have a layout in my opinion. Just a personal thing. I'm glad at least there's someone in the chat that agrees with my Ash Gren stance. I was super aware of this because usually when I bring it up, people get like super defensive about it. It's really not. There are a lot worse things.
I will always remember when Greg uploaded. Those were the days. Greg made awesome content. I actually remember watching Greg. He was very. I loved his energy. He gave really good energy and was good at the game. I noticed it's really hard to get both draft creators. They're either super like, yo, what's up, or you know, that kind of thing, and then they aren't very good, or they're really good but really boring. I think that Greg was like the perfect mix of both because he was a very good player. Obviously, he still is a good player, but also he
wasn't like Gypsy level, but he also wasn't like fucking Duncan knee deep level. Not to say that Duncan's bad, but like he's pretty average. I would say, but like he was a really entertaining person in my opinion. Greg made the most entertaining league content. In like just entertaining while good. I don't think there will be a better content creator for a long while than Greg was in my opinion. I think that Greg was pretty like say I know there are a lot of people that don't like Greg, and I think that their reasons for doing so are fair. I personally like Greg a lot. But I will say though that there will not be a better draft league creator for a while than Greg was.
Yeah, he made really, really entertaining stuff.
For sure.
Salamance's friend, that is the GOAT mascot. You guys will see next week in BBL. He's a fucking beast. I love men.
Personally, Fran, I think that Ash Gren, because of the fact you do obviously need to pop it off, and to be fair,
it's very hard to pop. I will say
it's definitely difficult to pop, more difficult than people give credit for.
I had it in Uber's league one time as like a second Uber. I didn't like it.
Greg, it's Regulator. Greg is easily, in my opinion, like the peak of draft league content as an entertainer. As someone like Greg's slides weren't like anything like insanely visually presenting, but they were decent enough to look at. He knew what he was talking about. Like it's almost like he scripted it, but at the same time didn't feel like a script. Really, really good. And that makes sense. I would expect that from Owen, that he doesn't know the difference.
What?
Between OBS and OBS Studio.
Yeah, I mean,
they probably don't even know the difference.
I 100% don't know the difference. I didn't know they were a different thing.
The Greg, in my opinion, is the best combination of entertaining and skill that there has ever been in a draft league content creator. And I genuinely don't think. Well, actually, that's a lie. There is one better example, and it's Mega Mogwai.
Mogwai, dude, I didn't even watch Gen 7 draft because I wasn't even into Pokemon in Gen 6. I would literally cut off a leg and sell it on the black market to to have Mogwai upload again. Yeah, I watched through his GBA Season 4 run at least like 3 times a year.
I'm telling you right now, I would literally cut off my dominant arm to get Mogwai to play in one BBL season and upload it for Wi-Fi.
Or, yeah, dude, Panther was trying to get him so bad for APA last season.
I don't blame him. Dude, Mogwai in draft, if we got Mogwai in draft again, I'm telling you right now, I would literally, right on, gone.
Could you imagine a hype around a league too if you got Mogwai in your roster and like you were like Mega Mogwai is in this league? Your league would blow the fuck up. Like people would be so excited.
All the people that like used to watch draft would come back just for Mogwai. And it's
100%.
Like,
it would breathe so much life into the format.
Mogwai, honestly, I still think was probably like over as a history of draft league, probably like a top 10 player. Mogwai,
yeah, he was very good for the time, and I was talking about this with John the other day because John's a huge Mogwai fan. If you look at everybody back in the day, Mogwai was for sure the best. Like back in those Gen 6 days when people didn't even know how to speed creep yet, you know, and he was speed creeping, he was forming functioning game plans. I think he would be a playoff coach now. I think if you take Mogwai's skill back then and you just plot him in here now and you like just gave him overall meta knowledge, I think he'd be a 7-5 guy. You know?
I think for Showdown I would agree. I think for Wi-Fi though,
for Wi-Fi actually he might do a lot better, yeah.
I think he'd probably be a top 3 in Wi-Fi, like in terms of like an average, like a top, like an 8-2, 9-3, something like that.
Yeah.
Definitely like a first seed, I think though. I will say though that for Showdown, I think he would at bare minimum still make playoffs, and that's like Showdown like a high tier league.
Yeah, he just understood the game very well. Whether or not he's like it's like AIM, where maybe he's not like like, you know, Sweaty, I play in 8 draft leagues or anything like that, but you're being good at Pokemon just carried.
Yeah. No, I genuinely think though that they're like he really knew what he was doing. It was super easy to like understand why he did his points. He was like just outside the box enough to where it wasn't just for a thumbnail, but like it was for a purpose.
His energy was phenomenal
like,
too.
Like, for example, was like that was like Mogwai's Mon. I remember as well. He was like the first person I personally saw use Zapdos like really well outside of just a defensive role. Like just stuff like that. Like he was just super creative, but not like stuff that like should have really been there outside the box, and definitely wouldn't be today. But I think genuinely like a lot of the creativity in draft comes from Mogwai. Like the good creativity in draft comes from Mogwai, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Super good. I would literally cut off my arm to get him to play in BBL for one season.
I
would cut off
my
forearm for just to see another Mogwai draft.
Showdown League. Yeah, Arctizolt sounds like fun. He's a really cool mod too. I love the designs of the fossils. Arctizolt's been destroying DPL. I actually heard about that. That's pretty cool actually. Dragon Ball for Rayquaza is not even a 2-hit KO on my Giratina.
That should have been a 2-hit.
And I miss Will-O-Wisp. Fuck. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I was considering picking up Arctizol in BBR. Matt kind of got me on that after my Matt game. He was like, because I told him I'm kind of eyeing free agents because my team. Not that I think it's bad, I just think it's kind of boring. So I guess a bit of spoilers. Not gonna say the result, but I don't like building with Ray and I hate it. I've always hated it, but I figured with BBR points there was no better way to do Coco, especially after Reggie Lucky got fucking sniped round 2 by someone who didn't even drop her in and randomized the pick and has the best mon Mamoswine. I'm not gonna get into this because it's gonna tell even more than doing the fucking tour 8-mon thing. But yeah, no, I would have legitimately though like I think that there wasn't a better way to do Coco, but I do think though that I hate Rain, so I might try and look at creations. I'm considering like Coco Lottie because Lottie is on the board, kind of eyeing it. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Davion dropped Lottie.
I kind of want to get Latios. I've been trying to make it work. I kind of have some ideas. They're not pretty though because of BBR budget. If I had 100 more points, I would have done it in a heartbeat. But it's super hard to find like good budget mons to do with Latios.
It's 2:30 in the morning, so I'm going to sleep. Thank you for answering my questions. I look forward to both your content in the future. Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming out. Have a good night. See you later, Kaz.
Today. With cash, fuck.
We defeat Backpacker Barbara and her dragon dancing Rayquaza.
Yeah,
another fun mod to use in draft.
I hate playing with weather that isn't sand. I like playing with sand as long as it's like not a carry on the team. That's why I draft Baby Hippo as my sand setter all the time, religiously. Sometimes Gigalith usually is Baby Hippo, and it's not even just because I think like, oh, Baby Hippo's broken or oh, Baby Hippo's a funny mon. I just genuinely think like for a sand team, you shouldn't make it the primary portion of the sand team, in my opinion. So having Baby Hippo, it's a 1-point mon. It's like a tier 5 mon if it's tiers. You can get a lot of other options to pair with sand, and it makes it a lot more broken, in my opinion. Also this chair I got it like 4 years ago. DX Racer. It's literally DX Racer. I'm one of those people. Got an actual DX Racer.
Oh.
Yeah, Owen has the off-brand one.
Let's go. It's comfy as fuck.
No. I'm not throwing shade. I mean it's probably a lot for two to be fair. But like this was like 250 I think, and this was the cheapest model. It was like 250, 300, something like that. But yeah, no, it's super comfy. I've had it for like 4 or 5 years, so I think it was a good investment. Actually, no, I got this for Christmas 2016, so it was actually like quite literally 4 years ago. Because I was actually before that, I was recording in a lawn chair that I broke, then I got another lawn chair that I broke, and then I did a recliner that I picked off the side of the road that was already broken, and I used that for 2 months, and that's when my mom caved and bought me this chair for Christmas.
Let's go. Actually, this is my Christmas present last year.
Oh, nice. Also, yeah, I think if you hit like T-Tar, that's a whole nother story. I would easily get that.
Oh, tier 2 T-Tar, I would draft that with drill ASAP. I am not a big Hippowdon fan with sand. I'm not a big Hippowdon fan with sand. I think Hippowdon's very expensive. It's a good mon. It's very expensive though, and you're drafting 2 really high tier grounds. I think it restricts the rest of your team.
I would only draft Hippowdon on sand if I'm getting like.
If I'm not getting drill, maybe.
Sure. A Moongus. I'm getting like I actually did do a
like Sandstorm
recently. Like it was like sand balance, but it was basically like Urshifu drill and then like fat, with the exception of Playlist.
So I love Gigalith though. I think Gigalith is really good with wish support, and it's I draft Gigalith religiously for sand.
If I had to do the sand setters for viability, like for a sand team, I would go Baby Hippo, Gigalith, T-Tar, Hippowdon. Though I will say that I think T-Tar is much better than any of those mons by far, and I also think that T-Tar isn't necessarily, unlike the rest, needing a... Well, to be fair, Gigalith isn't IR, but it should be. But Hippo at least. Actually, no. Really just baby Hippo, I guess.
T-Tar is the best overall Pokemon. You don't need T-Tar isn't. You don't draft T-Tar. Like, you can draft T-Tar if you're not drafting Sand, too. Like, you don't need to have Sand with Tar. Like, often you do because it's nice.
Yeah, you only get Hippo outside of Sand if, like, you really just needed a ground and everything else.
Like a really bulky ground. Unless, yeah, you get Hippo outside of Sand if you're Mega Mogwai.
You'd only get Gigalith if you felt like it, just because you wouldn't get it because it's a good option outside of Sand. But T-Tar, I think you could legitimately draft. Like, I would legitimately draft it. Oh, you fucking getting back your ice mag?
Just as a Pokemon, yeah, it has such good defensive utility and just offensive presence.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you got Magnet Risen on. Oh,
yeah, it's so dumb. But not only that though, but as well the Sand Spinef boost for T-Tar is so good. It's so fucking good in that mod.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I remember in the Lando I meta, I was running AV T-Tar because I lived like Focus Splash from Lando I Share Force.
And you could just Ice Punch it back. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that in draft for lures, like AV T-Tar. In fact, T-Tar's a whole.
Because his coverage is so nasty too. You can go mix and special. Yeah. T-Tar's just such an easy splashable mon.
Because T-Tar and Ubers is a gross mon even outside of Sand. It's a really good mon. I would argue that it's like a round 3 pick in Ubers. Like a round 3.
Well,
like,
it blanket checks so many mons.
Yeah, exactly. Like most of the top like really threatening Ubers are like ghost types. Like outside of Marshadow, it's like Lunala, Dawn Wings. Like I guess when Mewtwo was live Mewtwo, but to be fair, it has some nerfs. It's not as big. But there are a lot of mons that are like Giratinas as well. These are just blanket checks, and that's purely just
off of a new route. Oh, is this a new route?
Reshiram or like Hirums or stuff like that. Like it blanket checks a lot of Pokemon being a special wall, because a lot of the threatening Ubers you think of are special mons. There are some good ones that are physical, like Zekrom is phenomenal.
New route. Okay, close your eyes. I want go.
But yeah, no, most of them are definitely special mons though. And T-Tar is such a good blanket check, especially with its Sand and its obnoxious bulk as it is. Super good mon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I will stand T-Tar and Ubers till the day I die. I think it's a phenomenal pick, and I don't get why it doesn't get as much love as it does.
Well, it's a mon that's so consistently used in Ubers too.
We got
checks so many things. Wait, why do I fucking lose to Lapras?
But yeah, no, it's so good though. I legitimately love it. I love T-Tar and Ubers. I think it's a really good mon. T-Tar will always just have a place in Ubers, even without Pursuit. It does suck not having Pursuit, to be fair, and I think that matters a ton more for Ubers draft than non-Ubers personally. But I will say though that it's not gonna like stop T-Tar from being viable, because it does just still sponge hits obnoxiously. How good Selly in Ubers? Selly, if you think of Selly in non-draft, it checks everything in Ubers like twice as well, in my opinion. I would argue Selly is like a early round 2 mon in Ubers draft league. Just because it's typing and the fact that it's so well-rounded. It's the only mon I would say that is a really good sponge that is not a dedicated mon. Like, for example, like a Sylveon or a Florges that is dedicated to Spinef. Selly is like the one exception, I would say, in Ubers. That is like just good. But yeah. Speaking of, what are your thoughts on Clef in Ubers? I wanna hear your take on Clef, because I have a whole...
I've never drafted Clef ever. So I like have -2 opinion on it as a Pokemon. I think Clef is good in Standard, obviously, but I can never justify drafting it because I've noticed this is me as a player. I always draft different things in the high tiers. I never really like repeat things a lot, but I like strong, potent offensive threats, like things that are just like, oh shit, World Ender, like really good Pokemon high tiers, and I spam the same low tier bulk all the time. I love Aromatisse. I spam the same low tier bulk consistently. The only like really fat high tier mon that I always will draft if I can is Celesteela, because I think it's really versatile and it obviously doesn't need to be super defensive every week. But other than that, I always draft offense with my high tiers, and I just never get Clef because I always like low tier fairies.
I think that Clef is like a really solid like both offensive and defensive option as a max, as a non-Uber. But I will say though, in Ubers I think it's awful, and I don't know why so many people get it in Ubers. I think it's legitimately awful mon.
It just gets overwhelmed by the higher base stats.
I don't know if you've seen the Clef versus Reshiram calcs that I've tried spreading religiously.
Doesn't it not? It probably doesn't even break sub with Reshi.
To put in perspective, I'm pretty sure that Specs Reshiram does like 70-80% to Spinef Clef. It was somewhere within like 60 to 80. I forget the exact roll, but it like literally it shits on Clef. Even Spinef, like max Spinef.
I feel like it just gets overwhelmed by a lot. Even like the strong physical threats it's supposed to like say like. Even just a mid-tier Uber, like Ray. As much as I love Ray, Ray's a mid-tier Uber.
Mid-tier, like, is the general scope. I think, like, in the Uber's draft format, it's an upper tier. But I definitely agree as like a general scope, it's a mid tier Uber.
But like, it's a physically offensive dragon, which is something that often you designate Clef to check. If they're set up, you run unaware. I dare you to switch in your Clef to a Life Orb fucking Ray. Like, or a Banded Ray, or a Mixed Ray, or something like that. Like, it just gets overwhelmed.
Like, Adamant Ray, I'm pretty sure it takes half, like, Phys Def Clef, because it has, like, no Phys Def.
Yeah, it just gets overwhelmed by the high base depth, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I think that's a big thing. Zamazenta Crown is another one I'd preach. I preach that one almost as much as I preach Clef being bad. The Zamazenta Crown is, like, borderline not Uber.
Yeah, a lot of people. I remember there was a big debate on it being it should be an OU mon and shit like that.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I necessarily agree with OU, but I 100% agree with it not being a banned in draft. I think in draft it's a lot different. OU I think bans a lot happier than even draft does, which is something.
Dude. I think OU players are so fucking terrified of Zygarde. It's hilarious. I understand Zygarde's annoying, and I understand it's really good, especially if you aren't building specifically for it. I know it's a lot better in standard than it is in draft, and I love it in draft. It's one of my favorite Pokemon to use. But they are so unbelievably petrified of paralysis. It's fucking hilarious to me. I don't understand why it's seen as so broken.
Like, if a mon can kill 3 or more mons in a match, they can't play against it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
they're super ban happy to the and to be fair, draft players are pretty ban happy with certain mods too, but like it's even worse for OU players. But I do genuinely think though that at the bare minimum,
they banned fucking Zygarde before they banned Pheromosa.
That was obnoxious. That was same as Magearna too.
Magearna is still chilling right now, and those mons are all broken as fuck.
And like Cinderace and fucking Urshifu.
Dude, Urshifu has been chilling in the tier for like 6 months. Before all these broken Pokemon here, Urshifu is so brain dead in OU. The more and more I play it, the more I'm like, well, what the fuck do I do? I can't switch into this thing. Nobody can switch into it. It's
I think Urshifu's like kind of dumb right now, but it's only because they banned like so many mons that could have like handled it. Oh, that's the thing.
Well, they ban a lot. They ban a lot of the offense. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I forgot to nickname Lapras if I use it. Ooh, it had a Mystic Water. I'll take that. That's cool.
But yeah, I do think though that OU couldn't handle Zamazenta, even though I don't think it's great. I think OU just bans too much for it to be viable. Though I do think it's not too broken to be at least an 18.1 in Uber and OU like standard draft. Just personally,
not holding an item in draft is so fucking big.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
it's so massive.
I don't even think it gets rest. It might get rest. I forget. I genuinely forget.
Maybe it doesn't get fucking iron defense, or no, it doesn't get body press.
No, it doesn't get body press. Yeah.
The physically defensive, defensive fighting type doesn't get the move that's based off Phys Def. That's fighting.
Yeah, in the gen that it was made too.
Yeah, that's the dumbest shit ever. What the hell were they thinking? I think that mon would be crazy if it got an instant +1 and then got stab body press. That would be nuts.
Oh, that would be super nuts.
Yeah, you just spam iron defense.
We're probably like a 21, 22 point mon with
because you get crunch for like ghosts that can switch in, and then you're a part steel type for the fairies that resist it too.
Yeah, I think crunch would be like a 20,
body press, and you resist like in your neutral. I guess, and you get crunch for the psychics too. Like it's just such a spammable move too.
Yeah, it's so free, especially on a mon that's gonna take hits that well. I do definitely think though that like it would be a bit too much for OU. I think though for standard draft it should personally be allowed. It would be a decent mon to be fair. I don't think it's gonna be bad or anything. I don't think it should be Uber's draft though. It's barely clinching on there now, and it's the fact that it still hasn't gone since Zero used it and dropped it like by week 4 of the BBL that first season with Zamazenta should speak volumes of how bad it is. And to be fair, I think part of that's like no offense to Zero, but Zero was one of the weaker players in that specific season. But it's still just a garbage mon. Honestly, there's nothing on Zero. I think it's just the mon itself is so bad. And it was just a really strong season because there's 3 divs. Zero, don't yell at me. I love you, Zero.
I'm at the start of another gym. Do you want to cut it now? Well, actually, I think I might stream my Evo game, my LC Evo game, because Cavs just at me a little bit ago and asked me if I want to play. But we can cut it now because I'll have to do a whole...
Yeah, I was gonna say I just want to finish this dialogue real quick. Are you like at a good point to stop? Because if yes, I could just do it after the Sony dialogue. If you're like
I'm at like a perfect time to stop.
Okay, then I'll just stop.
And I'll probably stream my LC Evo game and then jump off because might as well if I'm sitting here. Let me set that up.
No, Corey, you cunt.
What do you think?
Oh, it's
release a Pokemon. Let's go. I totally have enough points for that, but I'll refrain from this playthrough.
All right, let me at least get to experience Crobat in camp. I want to talk to Crobat in camp before I release it. Crobat was Crobat kind of carried me, so I want to.
Wait, did he release Crobat too? That's fucking brutal.
At least it wasn't Lunala. Crobat was like my first encounter too. This is super sad. I'm gonna talk to Crobat a bit more. I kind of need to do this before I release it. No. Only reviving a Pokemon was banned. I didn't want to ban any of the nerfs. I only wanted to ban the stuff that like helped me because that wasn't fair to Owen. So I gotta take my amulet coin off. Man, this I'm putting Crobat in its own box. I can't even release it. I care about this mon too much. I don't know why.
Too much sentimental value.
Crobat gets so much. I'm literally gonna name it Crobat. I'm naming box 4. It's now Crobat. Change its name.
Snowy, I can't keep doing this, ma'am.
Change its name.
You should definitely give Clef a go. I will have to. So, like, I'll have to give it a go.
It's just not fun in Ubers. Man, this sucks. Crobat's carried me at this point. If it wasn't for Crobat, I would have lost my lock by now, to be honest. This mon has carried me.
Alright,
Corey really.
I sure do hope Cavs isn't looking at my stream if he is. Well.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, just a heads up. Heads up. I'm still streaming. I'll tell him if he wants to look. So, I'll be streaming our game as long as you're cool with that.
At least you didn't release my Gmax Duraludon, but still, it's very annoying. No, I don't want Lunala released. I was kidding. I said I would have rather it than Crobat because at least Lunala I haven't had the attachment to. The Crobat carried me. Yeah. Super sad. But yeah. So I think that'll be where we wrap up. We're gonna save the game real quick because I'm gonna have to do it later.
Peep Discord. If you, I'm typing with one hand. That's why it's taking so long. Haven't. I got Snowy in the other arm.
Yeah, Fred. The Zamazenta thing was because BBL does 18 to 24 for Ubers. So I mentioned that it's currently in 18 points in BBL Showdown, 20 in BBL Wi-Fi because people didn't want to have that conversation yet. Yeah, it probably should have been a 17-point mon, which is the start of our non-Ubers, which is specifically what we were getting at. But I think it should just be allowable in draft. Maybe not Wi-Fi, but I think definitely in Showdown at least. There's no reason not to. It's one of those mons like
Astro. Go ahead and get her.
I'm gonna watch your stream. All right, don't get 6 out. I hope you get.
I built this team like 5. Oh, I built this team like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I can send you it. It's points, but I can still send you it.
I'm realizing something. I'm realizing I fucked up on something big time on one of my mons. It's okay. It's high.
I'm gonna DM stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna possibly do it in like an off-season meta. I think it could be cool as like an off-season to test that. Just to prove that like it's really not that good. But yeah, people just aren't ready to have that conversation though. It's super sad. I'm gonna just go check my Nidoking really moves actually while you're doing this, just because I'm so far behind anyway.
Boom! First KO of the game. If you guys want to play some Little Cup, we have apps open for LC Wi-Fi. If you guys want to play in a Wi-Fi league, but you don't want to deal with LAN and you don't want to deal with
Yes, I will safely say as well that if you are looking for a Wi-Fi league for LC, APA LC Wi-Fi, the best choice you can have. I am also applying. So if you'd like the chance to play against me and for me to upload me 4-0ing you or getting 6-0 in LC, join. Fun experience. And I will either get smashed or I will go like 8-2. Depends on if I'm Clash or if I'm APA LC, which is probably going to be APA LC. Yeah, I was gonna say exactly. Like there are definitely instances I could show. There are a lot of instances I could show 0. It's not hard to find it. Ooh, Nidoking has Earth Power is a really good move. Yes. Oh, yeah, series of turns versus Ruin. Yeah, that's exactly. I think that's quite literally where I realized it 2-0. That is just bad. Let's see.
Let's go, Rat. Okay, I'm kind of fucked versus the versus the Ponyard, but it's alright. Rat hit. Dude, I lost my game last week versus Amel. If Amel's still here, no, he left. Versus Amel because my Rat missed 2 moves.
Bruh. Very unfortunate with the Hustlemon.
Very upset.
Oh, fuck. Relearning moves. Oh, you know what? I could teach Swampert stuff as well through relearning. Because it has his Swampert moves.
God damn it.
Oh, did you miss a move?
Nah, I got flinched.
Ooh. Sounds about right. Every turn is hacks or it's your favor. Not just an Owen thing, just back.
That killed the fuck out of it, dude. I was revenge. That's so fucking annoying.
You kind of smashed that, not gonna lie.
Fuck me.
Yo, Earthquake is a relearn move? That's broken. Pert's gonna have actual moves. This is so fucking hype. Yes.
I put myself in a bad
So glad I checked Pert, because I was genuinely not going to, but then I was like, I'm here anyway. It has Surf, it has Hammer Arm. Ooh. I'll keep Rock Slide, actually, it's really good. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just the 20 base speed less, and base 128 versus 130 is huge for a fast Uber. It makes a huge difference, stuff like a Mewtwo versus a Zamazenta. And also just the defense boost, but not having body press or anything to take advantage of it, and no recovery even. It hurts. It definitely hurts. My team's broken now, move-wise. Ooh, how's your game going on?
What? He just doesn't switch. We're doing great. I fucking want to kill this Pawniard. That's so annoying. I'm annoyed.
Pawniard's broken. I don't know why more people don't take Pawniard seriously. It's a good mon. It's a really good mon.
I did take it seriously, and I fucking killed it.
I know you. I'm talking more so just as a general. Like, it's probably like a top 5 mon in LC. At least in my opinion. To be fair, I don't like religiously play LC or anything, but I think it's like a top 5 mon. At least off of APA allows.
Wow. This game is something.
See that? Back to the Jap players combo. I think this is a good way to end off this stream because it really drives home the point.
Fucking tilted, dude. This is so stupid. Oh my god. Great game, bro.
Ooh. See that? This is what the GG can stand for. Not good game, great game.
I don't know your body sling. What the fuck am I switching into, buddy? Your berry juice. Okay.
You know, yeah, honestly, I'm gonna start whenever I have games that aren't like good games, I'm gonna type people GG and then just specify right after great game, but I'm gonna say great in like italics. Really passive aggressively. Gotta trap on that point. Alright, there we go, now I've saved. Is there anything else I could do? It's like easy enough. I actually want to keep Toxel in my party. I'll be honest, I don't know if I do. But I don't want triple steal either, so we'll kind of just keep Corviknight there. Yeah, we'll keep the team like this. I have like 4 steel types. It's such an uncommon type too. You know, I have like 4 of them. Let me actually check real because I could have sworn I saw something in my box too. I want to make sure that I don't have anything in there. Back when I was scrolling through. Okay, so there wasn't. I was just delusional.
Shell Smash. Don't pair me.
Will you make a secret code in the video too by saying great game? Yes, I 100. I promise you. Meta, I will. It also 0. It doesn't get Vicious Rend to like level 60. So I plan on if I lose a mod or when I do, like right before the Elite Four, grinding the fuck out of that. But for now, I'm not touching it. Especially when I have a Swampert. Ooh.
If you wanted to remember we were talking earlier about fucking salt.
Yep. I'm looking at your screen.
Well deserved.
Yep.
You killed it, bro.
Exactly. This is exactly the point.
Except you shouldn't have fucking won.
This is why you shouldn't sign up for APLC Wi-Fi. But if you do still want it anyway, though, then sign up for APLC Wi-Fi. Option the APA Wi-Fi in the APA server. I probably shouldn't be doing this on stream, huh? Oopsies. We'll go back to the other save. Whee! Alright, well, if you guys enjoyed the stream,